in the plasma membrane, how to arrange the membrane protein. So in this video we will discuss about these arrangements of the membrane protein. There are two types of the membrane protein in our plasma membrane. First is the integral protein and another is the peripheral protein. One by one discuss about that, what is integral protein and what is peripheral protein. This is the lipid bilayer and this is called as the integral protein. This is integral protein and this protein is the peripheral protein. Integral protein means these are firmly embedded in it. And peripheral proteins which are not firmly embedded in the plasma membrane. These are attached to the polar head and sometimes attached to the integral protein outer surface of the membrane. So yes, this is the peripheral proteins which are not firmly embedded in, and this is the integral proteins which are firmly embedded in the plasma membrane. So integral protein, these are the transmembrane protein, and some integral proteins and mostly integral proteins are transmembrane protein. What is transmembrane protein? Transmembrane proteins means that these are extend into and through the lipid bilayer and protrude into both the intracellular and extracellular fluid. So this is called as the transmembrane protein. And the another is the integral proteins are amphipathic. Amphipathic. What is amphipathic? Amphipathic means that they contain the polar and non-polar compound together. For example, the lipid bilayer, it contains polar head, non-polar tail, polar head, non-polar tail, polar head, non-polar tail. Same as that, the integral proteins are also amphipathic because these regions called as lipophilic region because these are attached to the fatty acid tails. These are attached to among the fatty acid tails, and this region is called as the hydrophilic region because these are attached to the polar head and excrete into both the intracellular and extracellular fluid. So these are the amphipathic. So this is about the integral proteins and peripheral proteins. Many integral proteins are glycoprotein. Many integral proteins are present in the plasma membrane. These are glycoprotein. Glyco means carbohydrate with protein. Carbohydrate with proteins, and these carbohydrates with proteins are actually oligosaccharides, and these oligosaccharides contain the chain of 2 to 60 monosaccharides, and the chain may be a linear chain or branch chain. Okay, so many integral proteins are glycoproteins which are present at the end of the plasma membrane and protrude into mostly extracellular fluid. These glycoproteins contain the carbohydrate with proteins, and these carbohydrates are oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides is the chain of the 2 to 60 monosaccharides units are present in that oligosaccharides, and the chain may be a linear chain or branch chain. Okay, so The carbohydrates, the glycoproteins and glycolipid contain the carbohydrates. Okay, so this carbohydrate form the extensive sugar coat. Carbohydrate form extensive sugar coat This is known as the glycocalyx. Okay, so this glycocalyx is very important, and one by one we will discuss about what is the functions of the glycocalyx. So let's talk about the functions of glycocalyx. Okay, glycocalyx. This glycocalyx acts like a molecular signature. Okay, acts like a molecular signature. For example, in any foreign microorganisms enter in our body. So in that situation, WBC, white blood cells, detect these microorganisms. So how to detect this cell is not our own body, this is the foreign microorganism. So how to detect that? These are easily detected with the help of this glycocalyx, because there is the glycocalyx is present is different from our own cell. Okay, the glycocalyx, this is known as foreign glycocalyx, because the pattern of the carbohydrate in the glycocalyx is different from one cell to the another cell. Okay, so WBC cell is easily detect to these microorganisms, and in that situation they kill these and destroy these microorganisms and protect our body from these microorganisms. The first function of that. Okay, the another function of the glycocalyx is that in the extracellular fluid present so many enzymes, and this is the enzyme. Okay, and these enzymes digest this cell. So in that conditions, glycocalyx adhere or stick the one cells to the another cells in the some tissues, and in that condition this enzyme not digest this cell. Okay, so the function of this glycocalyx is that. The last function of the glycocalyx is that these glycocalyx have the hydrophilic properties. They attract the film of the fluid. Into the surface, on the surface of the cell. Why? Because the RBC cell, red blood cell, has a easily flow through the narrow passages. And the another function is that they prevent drying out. They prevent the drying out the many cells which are present in gastrointestinal tract. Yes, so this is the functions of the glycocalyx. So in this video I am discuss about the arrangements of the membrane protein. In the another video I am discuss about the functions of the membrane protein. So thank you so much.